Okay, so the recording has started. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
I can see the screen now.
Yes, I can see
I said
Can see your screen.
we'll be covering concepts of data analysis, just like an introduction to data analysis, as well as understanding the Excel interface, because Excel is the tool we'll be using for this course. All right, so I said before we go into data analysis, it's important we understand what we are working with. Understand? We're working with data and information. So it's good we understand those basic concepts of data and information. So who can tell me what they understand about data? Anybody can answer. All right. Ali answer.
Hello.
Yeah. Okay.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yeah, this is Meshach. You said what data is, to my best of knowledge, it's a raw fact that have not been processed.
Okay. Thank you very much. Oluwa. Okay, the hand is down. All right. You're correct. So, I don't know why am I coming. Can you hear me now? Okay. All right. So, data refers to raw facts and figures that are collected for reference or analysis purpose. For example, we have numbers, we have dates, we have text. So, particularly anything you collect because you want to make inference from that particular thing, it's data. It can be in the form of numbers, it can be dates. Just know that that is data. All right, so we know data is a raw fact, but there's also information. So, what do you guys understand about information? Wind, you can talk.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, information can be referred to as processed data or processed collection of data and facts.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much. Thank you. You are correct. Does any other person have another opinion? Is there another opinion? Hello? Okay, so no other opinion. So you're very correct. Information is data that has been processed and given context, making it meaningful. So data is raw fact. It can just be numbers that you can just see numbers, a lot of numbers. Somebody can just have numbers as 24, 30, but they're just numbers. You don't really know what they are. You don't really know what they mean. So when you process those numbers, they become information. So they become meaningful. All right. So we're on to the categories of data. Right. So data can be categorized in two ways. We can categorize them based on their types and based on their organization. So for the types, we have quantitative data, which is numeric in nature. An example is sales numbers, then temperature. So numeric data is categorized as quantitative data. So these are data that you can count, you can calculate, you can compute. Then we also have qualitative data. Qualitative data is descriptive in nature. An example is customer feedback, colors, and derivatives. So anything that describes, it could be a commodity, it could be a person, it could be anything. So those are qualitative data. The major difference between qualitative and quantitative is quantitative data is countable, right? It's computable, while qualitative is not, because it is descriptive. All right. We also have organization of data. That's another way of categorizing data. So data can be categorized, can be structured. It can either be structured data or unstructured data based on their organization. So structured data are data that are organized in a predefined format, usually in tables with rows and columns, which is mostly what we're going to be working with. All right, but we still have unstructured data. So these data, they don't have a predefined format or structure. An example is images, videos. They are also data. Images, video, even audio, MP3. They're all data, but they are not in rows and columns. So since they have no predefined format, which is really rows and columns, we call them unstructured data. All right, so these are rows in data. All right, these are rows in data. So these are like let me call them, let me just say careers in data. These are the people that work with data, and we have different roles for them. So we have the role of the business analyst. The business analyst is the one that interprets data for business insights. So the major role of a business analyst is to interpret the data. All right. That is after that already been processed by the data analyst. So the business analyst will interpret it. While the data analyst profiles, cleans, and visualizes the data using tools like Power BI, Excel, Python, and thereabouts. All right, then we also have the data engineer. The work of the data engineer is to manage and integrate data platforms and sources. All right, so they are in charge of storing the data where it's supposed to be. They also help in organizing the data. We also have the data scientist. So the data scientist performs advanced analytics, including predictive analytics and machine learning models. While we have database administrators, so these people manage database performance and security. They grant and restrict access to data within the organization. So these ones are like the can call them data police. So for example, the data that maybe a teller person, somebody that's, let's say you're working with people that are working in the bank. So data that somebody working as a teller, the access that kind of data that somebody working as a teller can access is way less than let's say a top manager in the bank will access. So the database administrators, they are the ones that just create this differentiation. You understand? So they're really in charge of logins and the rest, restricting access to data. So it's not everybody in an organization that can access all the data there. So we also have based on departments as well. So what security department, data that security department has access to is different from the ones that the finance department has access to. So that's the work of the database administrator. And all these people work together. But sometimes you might actually have the role of one of them in this out of this list. You can only have the role of one of them, but you can be doing the job of like 2 or 3. So it doesn't matter. But these are just the major rules in data. And effective data projects require collaboration across these rules for successfully data-driven insights. So they need to actually collaborate with each other very well in order to be successful in getting insights from the data. All right, so now that I believe everybody has an understanding of data and information, we are moving to data analysis. Is there any question based on what we just covered? Let me allow people to mute. Is there any question?
Not from my end. I don't have any.
Okay. All right. So I'll move forward now. Thank you for your feedback. All right. So we are down to data analysis. All right. So data analysis is the process of inspecting, cleaning, transforming, and modeling data with the goal of discovering useful information, informing conclusions, and supporting decision making. So in essence, data analysis is the act of processing data in order to be able to get informed conclusions and support decision making. That is the simple definition of data analysis. All right, so data analysis has multiple facets and approaches. So there are different ways you can actually analyze data. It encompasses diverse techniques under a variety of names and is used in different business, science, and social science domains. In today's business world, data analysis plays a role in making decisions more scientific and helping businesses operate more effectively. So data analysis is actually very important. All right, so this is the importance of data analysis. So data analysis plays a pivotal role in today's data-driven world, helps organizations to harness the power of data, enabling them to make decisions or processes and gain a competitive edge. By turning data into meaningful insights, data analysis empowers businesses to identify opportunities, mitigate risk, and enhance their overall performance. All right, so one of the importance of data analysis is informed decision. So if you can analyze your data, from the information you will get from that data, you will know your best, your next move. You know the best next move to make. That is an importance of analyzing your data. All right. You also have improved understanding. So you'll be able to understand how well your business is doing. If you are doing bad or you are. So some people can't. Can you all see my screen? Oh, I have a lot of. Oh, hold on. All right, Kingsley Igwe, ask a question.
We cannot see your screen, ma.
Oh, let me check.
We cannot see your screen
Your
again.
screen has been off the screen for a long time now.
I can't see your screen. That's why I was waiting.
We can't see your screen now.
Okay, just open. What was the last?
Immediately you left that data
Data
that data
analysis
analyst.
explanation.
Yes, the thing went off.
Okay, can you see it now?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can.
Was this the last thing you saw?
Ma.
The one
No, this is not the last thing.
This is not the last thing.
No.
So you
Yes, this was the last thing.
This is
Yeah,
the
this
last
was-
one.
Yeah,
What is
this.
data analysis?
Okay, so what was the last thing you heard?
I think you finished it. You finished everything.
You finish this one, then to go to the next one, and then it went off.
All right, no problem. I'll move to the next slide now. Thank you. Sorry for the inconvenience. All right. Okay, so we're now on to the importance of data analysis. All right, so I think you guys heard what I said from this part. I was talking about this part when I saw that there were a lot of hands being raised. All right, so I said when you analyze your data, in your business, you can be able to make informed decisions. You won't be guessing. You won't be hoping or just having this. You won't be making decisions without facts. You understand? So you have when you make a decision, you know that this is what you're expecting. All right, based on what you have seen from data you have analyzed. All right, so I said it will also give you improved understanding. So sorry, excuse me. So with data analysis, you can be able to know your current state. You can be able to know the current state of your business. All right, so you know if you're doing very well or not. You're able to understand where your issues are, where you're having challenges, and then find a way to sort them out. Okoro Gift, do you have a question? Okoro Gift. Okay, please, if you don't have a question, just drop your hands. Richard and then Asaga. Thank you. All right. So with data analysis, you also have a competitive advantage because you'll be able to know that this is where your business is lacking. All right. You can be able to compare your business with another business and like, okay, this is what this person is doing. This is what I am doing, and this is the product. You'll be able to know that okay, I'm not doing well here, and this is what this person is doing. So with this data, with data analysis, you can be able to know that. All right. Sorry, I'm supposed to go to the next slide now. So with data analysis, you can be able to know that, and then you'll be able to have a competitive advantage compared to other businesses because you're actually applying strategy. You are working with informed knowledge. All right, so data analysis also helps to mitigate risk. So instead of you going to just invest money in a particular sector or a particular part that you're not used to, that you don't know, you don't have enough information about, with data analysis, you can be able to reduce the risk involved. Because you're able to do research, you're able to analyze the data you've gotten from that research and know that, oh, this particular one is no good, bro. I shouldn't do this. All right, I shouldn't invest here. Or you can also say, oh, this maybe you own a business where you sell clothes and shoes. So you can be able to say, okay, this particular coat sold very well during last December, because you've analyzed the data. So I can actually decide to invest my money there instead of going to invest my money in shoes. Or this particular shoe is not selling very well, so I should stop buying them. That is because you have done your analysis. You've analyzed the data you've gotten from your sales. All right, you've analyzed the data. It could be the sales, the figures from sales that you analyzed and used in getting your information, or it could also be a survey you did. You just put out a survey, a product survey, and like ask your customers for feedback to know if they prefer this product or not. So with that, you'll be able to allocate your resources better. All right, and also it also helps in continuous improvement, because you know that okay, this is where you're lacking your business and this is where needs improvement. So data analysis can actually open ways for all that. All right, so we're on to the steps involved in data analysis, and the first step is data collection, because you want to analyze the data, you have to collect it somehow. Right, so this involves the gathering of your data. It could be in different forms. It could be in form of surveys where you get feedback. It could be from a company database, maybe your company database. It could be from anywhere, but the process of gathering data is part of data analysis. and it is the collection part. The next stage is data cleaning. So before you can analyze your data and get information from it, before you can get insights from your data, you need to clean it, because sometimes the data may just come in a way that if you analyze it straight, you'd have a lot of errors, or you would actually be getting wrong insights. You won't be getting the right one. So it's actually good to check very well that your data is clean. And that is why we have to do data cleaning. All right. For example, it's possible you collected, let's say, for example, data you collected now, let's say it was a survey form, and people were supposed to fill in their countries. So somebody put in Nigeria, for example, and the person spelled it as Nigeria, while another person spelled it as Nigeria, that is Nigera. All right. If you go and analyze data, and we have other countries attached as well, if you go and analyze that data, all right, it's going to separate Nigeria and Nigeria, although they are the same thing. But if you're going to make counts based on that, it's going to separate it for you, because it's not seeing it as one, it's seeing it as two different countries. So that is why during the cleaning process, you will now amend such mistakes. All right, you will not change the one that spelled the Nigeria to Nigeria, so that you can see it as one and not two different countries. So that is the importance of data cleaning, which is the second step in data analysis. So the next one is exploration. All right. So during exploration, that is when the analyst looks into the data, profiles the data, gets to have a feel of the data and understand data, because you need to know what you're working with. Yes, you may be a data analyst, but data analyst work in different sector. All right. So the way health data is not the way agricultural data is. It's not the way security data is. It's not the way government data is. So they're all different, and you need to explore, you need to understand the data, know the number of columns, know the number of rows, understand the fields. So what info did they give you before you start digging in? Don't just jump in and start analyzing. Because I think one mistake most data analysts do is they focus mostly on the tool. And it's not about the tool, because what you can do with Excel, you can also do with Python, you can also do with SQL, you can do with Power BI, which are different tools, even Tableau as well. Maybe they're just little differences. Maybe one is more advanced or one is faster, but it's the same concept all along. But the most important thing there is the data. That is the first thing, not the tool. If you know the data, you will know how well to do research. Right? If you know that what you need is this, let's say you want to let's say, for example, you are cleaning, you want to remove spaces and rest. If you know you have to remove spaces, all you need to do is just go to Google and just like ask Google, how do I remove spaces in my data in Excel? Google will tell you. But if you don't know that you're supposed to remove spaces and the rest, you won't know what to ask. You just leave it that way. So most times you need to focus on the data. You need to understand the data. All right, understand the data very well. So it's also in that aspect whereby it's also in this exploration aspect, you will know if you can work with the data you are being given. So, for example, you are being presented with a project from your boss, and they asked you to, let's say they asked you to get to do a trend analysis now, for example. So they want to know how a particular product has been doing from 2020 to 2024. They want to know if the product has been selling well, which year did the product drop, what happened, and all those kind of stuff. And they give you a particular data set to work with. But the data does not have date. How are you going to work with it? So it's in this exploration aspect, you will now use exploration part, you will now inform your boss that the data you gave me, I can't use it to get what you want. I can't use it for the analysis. Yes, you can actually analyze that data. You can analyze the data even without dates, and you will get insight from it. But the main purpose of that project was for trend, to monitor trend, to understand the trends, how well it has been doing over time. So time, you know that the date column is actually very important in that, then you inform them and then they will sort it out or tell you what next to do. All right, so the next stage now is data modeling. All right, so this is where you establish relationships between your tables. So where you usually do this is when you're working with databases. All right, so a database is a combination of different data sets, right? Like a combination of different tables. That's what makes a database. So let's say you have a particular data set. Let's say it's the sales data set now. So it contains your product, it contains sales manager ID, sales ID, sales rep ID. So let's say for each person in your company that sells a particular product, they will put their ID. They put the ID on the product that they sell, and then the price that the product was being sold for. All right. Then you have another data set that contains only your employees in the company and their IDs. So it is in this modeling part that you now try to find a way to link it. Like if your boss has told you they want to see the total sales each sales rep has made, and they want you to put their names there, not their ID. So you have to find a way to link, to find a connection between your sales table and your employee table. So that is where the modeling comes into play. That is one part. You also use modeling to reduce redundancy. Maybe towards as we are going further in the course, you guys will get a better understanding of that. So used to reduce redundancy. Redundancy has to do with a repetition of the same data in your table or your data set. So because you don't want it to be repeated, you have to model your data in order to reduce the size and increase the analysis performance time. All right, so the next step is visualization. So this is the part whereby you visualize the data you have analyzed, because the data is going to be in figures. It's going to be in a table, cleaned, arranged in the table. But the audience, that the person you are presenting that report to, cannot understand what is in the table. So you just see numbers. Oh, rice sold 1 million, or 1 million bags of rice sold. It will just be on your table. You can see beans 200, you can see another beans 300, you can see another rice. So that is the table. We as data analysts, we would understand that, but a non-technical person would not understand that, and that is where your own job comes into play. That is what your job involves. And your job as a data analyst is to make the data easy to understand. You understand? It's for you to make the data very easy for a non-technical person to understand, which may likely even be the business analyst, because if you remember what we did just now, roles of data analyst, the business analyst is the one that interprets the data, all right, and maybe give recommendation on what to do. So this is where you create charts. Visualization step is where you create charts. Could bar charts, pie charts, and histograms and the rest. This is where you create the charts that will make it easy for your audience to understand what you have analyzed. Then the last part is interpretation. So this is where you will draw inference from the data you have visualized, because now that is visualized, it's going to be very easy for you to say, oh, the products that I sold in that were sold in Nigeria did better than this product that were sold in the other country. All right, this could be because of one thing or the other. It could be maybe something about the politics that period. Maybe it is during an election period, or it is just maybe the kind of celebration that is going on that period. It depends. So it is in this interpretation step that you do all that. All right, so now we're on to the types of data analysis. All right, there are a lot of data analysis that is available. And the first one we'll be looking at now is descriptive data analysis. So descriptive data analysis answers the question, what happened? All right. It involves summarizing and organizing data to describe the current situation. Measures like mean, median, mode, etc. can be used to describe the main features of a data set. So it is when you are doing descriptive analysis, you will now find out what happened. That is the question that it actually answers. All right. It is, for example, you have a shop. You sell clothes, you sell food. All right. When you sell food stuff, sorry. When you do your descriptive analysis, you will see, that is when you will see that rice sells more than beans. All right. Or somebody is not able to see my screen. Is that for everybody? Can you see my screen, please? Respond. All right. So I think you need to restart your phone. The person that cannot see my screen. All right. So when you are doing descriptive analysis, you'll be able to find out what happened. That's when you can also find out during this particular period when you traveled, let's say you have a farm now, let's say you have a fish farm. It is when you're doing descriptive analysis, you will now find out that the period you traveled, the sales, the money you got from sales was very low. Why? What happened? You understand? So it is that when you're doing descriptive analysis, you find out that something actually happened. All right. The next one now is diagnostics. You're only seeing PIP on the screen. I think maybe just leave the meeting and join back in. Leave the meeting. You might have gone to touch something with your hand. Exactly, facial system. So the next one now is diagnostics analysis. So this answers the question, why did it happen? All right. It goes beyond descriptive analysis to understand why something happened. It looks at data to find the causes of events. So you see, in your descriptive analysis, you've already been able to find out that something has happened. All right. So it is in the process of doing diagnostics analysis, you will now find out why it happened. All right. Like I said, let's say you have a fish farm and you find out that when you traveled, or let's say during the months of June and July, your sales was very low. All right. When you are doing diagnostics analysis, you can now find that it's possible you will find out that the supplier of your fish seeds, all right, is one that is not. If you check the history of his product, they are not giving you good ones, right? It could also be that is the feed that they are taking. Because when you are doing diagnostics analysis, you will find out all of that. All right. The next one now is predictive analysis. All right. So during the predictive analysis, the question that is being answered is what might happen or what will happen. All right. Historical in this part, historical data and statistical techniques are used to forecast future outcomes. It often involves machine learning algorithms. So here you are to predict. This is where you predict what will happen. All right. So if you notice that the there's a particular product that you were selling this period because it was in vogue. So you kept on selling it, and all of a sudden, next month sales reduced. The other month sales reduced, probably because of something new, maybe a new trend or another product has come in vogue. So with predictive analysis, you'll be able to know that if you continue with that particular product, by the next 6 months, you just have your shop will be full of that product because you keep on restocking, but you're not selling. So it's when you do predictive analysis, you can be able to answer those questions. What will happen? All right. So another type of data analysis is prescriptive analysis. All right. So this is where you now try to find out solutions to what is happening. All right. So it will answer the question, since we know this is what happened, we know why it happened, we know what will happen. So what should we do next? All right. So that is prescriptive analysis, from the word prescriptive, like to prescribe drugs. You understand? Prescriptive. All right. So it is this aspect that you recommend the best possible action based on data analysis. All right. Insights from descriptive, diagnostics, and predictive analysis to suggest decision options. So you use insights from the other analysis you've done to suggest a possible solution to your employer or whoever you are doing the analysis for. So the next one now is cognitive analysis. All right. This answers the question, what will happen if we do or do not take this action, right? It involves learning from the data and improving predictions. So you've made a prescription, right, that this is what we should do. Maybe we should start doing promo from we should do promo for the particular product that we are selling. Maybe this product is not selling well, and we have it in our warehouse and it's full. All right, we should do promo for this particular product. If you buy 2 bags of rice, we'll give you a carton of noodles. All right, a carton of noodles. So it is during the cognitive analysis you will now find out that if we do this, that will answer the question that if we do this, if we do this promo, we should expect this amount of sales by the end of the month, right? And if we do not take that action, if we do not do that promo, this is what we suspect will happen to our business. So it is during cognitive analysis that you find out all those. All right. Other type of analysis includes quantitative analysis, which is numerical analysis, simply just trying to analyze your numbers and see what they tell you. All right. That is it could be your sales record, it could be anything. All right. Then we have qualitative analysis. So this involves analyzing concepts, thoughts, and experiences to draw inference. We also have sentiment analysis, which identifies and categorizes opinions expressed. So it can help you to categorize it as either positive, negative, or neutral. So you see where some businesses, they'll tell you to give feedback, right? You give feedback, you make your own comment. There is somebody that usually goes there. So you see let's say a YouTube channel, for example, or YouTube video, better still. So people make a lot of comments about the video under, all right? They totally write it in text, which can be very difficult to read or to understand in a summary, because many people are saying this thing is good, I like this because of this. This one is saying this is bad, I don't like this. This one is saying it's okay. So there's a lot of possible outcomes. So it's when you do sentiment analysis, you can be able to now properly categorize that this percentage sees your video as positive, this percentage sees your video as negative, then this percentage sees your video as neutral, so not a big deal. All right, so you don't know if you should continue posting this particular kind of content or you should change the kind of content you are posting. So these are just the few we talk about, but there are a whole lot. So you guys can do research and read on those. All right, so we are into the application of data analysis. All right, like I've mentioned, data analysis. You can see your screen. Oh, all right, so we've said a lot about data analysis. So these are the sectors with high demand for data analysis. I think I've mentioned the agricultural sector. I've mentioned the business sector before. All right. We also have finance. Very important. Banks, they need to do analysis a lot. They do it a lot. Right. It's very important in terms of they want to know the kind of customers, the percentage of customers they have. What kind of loans should we give to these customers and the rest? What do we expect to get if we introduce this package to the customers and the rest? So all those have to do with analysis. Same thing with academia, that is the academic sector, educational sector. So they usually do analysis. So they want to know the ratio of male to female students they have. They want to know how many people did above 60%, how many did below. All right. If people are failing, why are they failing? So it's an analysis that you would do to get all that information. Same thing with environmental science. You see, weather forecast that we see, where you see that they can be able to predict that it will rain tomorrow, it will rain next tomorrow, or it's going to be sunny. It's all data analysis. But if they don't analyze the data, what they are doing is they are doing diagnostics. They are doing diagnostics. They're doing descriptive analysis, right, based on what has been happening before, in order for them to be able to predict. You understand? As well as predictive analysis, you get to see what will happen, what will rain during. So it's based on historical data. It's all analysis as well. Even when you say they're talking about global warming and the rest, it's all based on data they've analyzed. We also need data in manufacturing, we need data in the IT sector, as well as health and life sciences. All right, so who is a data analyst? So a data analyst is a professional who collects, processes, and performs analysis on data sets to extract meaningful insights and support the decision-making process within an organization. The responsibilities of a data analyst include collection, cleaning, data visualization, reporting, problem solving, and collaboration. So these are the responsibilities of the data analyst. You won't work alone as a data analyst. You always work with people. So you need to learn how to collaborate, right? You need to learn how to have a creative mind so you can be able to profile solutions to different problems that you may come across. All right, so tools used for data analysis. There are a lot of tools, like I said. It's good to understand the tools because different tools have their selling point. All right, but still the most important thing is the data. All right, so we have Tableau, we have Apache Spark, we have Power BI, we have SAS, which is a school analysis system, we have Python, we have Nine, we have QlikView, R programming, Excel, Google Analytics, Jupyter Notebook, RapidMiner, Apache Hadoop, Looker, Talend, TensorFlow, IBM, Azure, MongoDB, PyTorch, scikit-learn, Firesense, Splunk, Apache Storm, Spotfire, DataWrapper, and Orange. So there are a lot. It's not even all I can pronounce. It's not ahead. There are a lot of them I've not used here, but there are a lot. That's what you just need to understand. So it depends. Different organizations use different tools. All right. So the tool we are going to be working with here is Excel, Microsoft Excel. So we're about to enter that part. So what is Excel? Excel is a spreadsheet application developed by Microsoft. It is widely used for data organization, calculation, and analysis. Excel allows users to create and format spreadsheets to analyze data, create visualizations, and design dashboards. That one is straightforward. So these are some common Excel shortcuts. You can take a screenshot now. I won't be talking much on this, but when we are working with our Excel software, you'd see the reason to use all this because they make your life easier and faster. So we have the arrow keys. We have the control arrow, control home, control end, shift arrow key. We have the ones for basic navigation. We have the ones for selection and editing. Then we have the ones for copying, pasting, and filling there. We also have the ones for formatting. We have the ones for formula and calculation. We have the ones for inserting and deleting. Then we have others. So you can also take a screenshot. So now we are going into in the Excel interface. So here we'll talk about workbook, worksheet, ribbon tab, quick access toolbar, cells, rows, columns, name box, formula bar, status bar, and whatever we see on our Excel interface. So do you guys have any questions? If you have a question, ask now. Let me see. Because I can still see your screen.
The screen is visible at my place, so I think it's the person's network.
Network. Okay. Ochua, ask your question. Ochua, you can ask your question. Ochua, ask your question. Kingsley.
The audio. Let me give them access to the audio.
Okay, so now I'm about to open my Excel software. Okay, so it's not a question. Kingsley, you can ask your question. Kingsley, ask your question. Ajala, if you have a question. Okay, you can unmute it because it was echoing. So ask the question.
Good evening, Ma.
Evening.
Thank you for the class so far. My question is, when you're talking about the types of
Bring up the second slide for the shortcuts.
Okay, so I think we've lost her there.
is it that
Okay, I
at the
didn't
data
hear you. I didn't hear what you said for like the past let's say 20 seconds.
can you hear me, Ma?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, I said the types of data analysis you talked about, descriptive, prescriptive. So as a data analyst, are we supposed to like
Sorry,
carry out all the types of data analysis?
Two devices. You have to mute one of your device. You are joining with your two devices. Mute one because it's echoing.
I had to mute everyone just now. So the lady that was talking, only the lady that was talking.
She's joining with two devices. You have to mute one.
Okay. Hello. I think that was the lady was Angela. Okay. The other person has a question. Please ask. Nancy Kabi.
Ma, did you
Good evening, Ma. Can you
get the question?
Good evening, ma. Can you hear me? Good evening, ma. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you.
I just wanted to know if we'll be getting the slide you presented.
Not really. I was telling you guys to take. But I'll see what I can do. Don't worry.
Okay, thank you.
My question was, I said as a data analyst, I was supposed to carry out all the types of data analysis, that's the descriptive, prescriptive, and like that. I was supposed to like do everything as a data analyst, sorry.
It is good for all, but the thing is, it is going to be dependent on, let's say, your organization. Your boss will to go and do all. You understand? So when you want to analyze data, it is really going to be in the form of like a project. Right. So from the beginning, you will know what you are doing. I made an example of whereby the boss tells someone that they should find out how a product is doing or how the product has been doing from 2020 to 2024. So definitely that person's analysis is simply descriptive. You understand? So the person is only going to just describe what happened within 2021. Did the product sell well in 2021, or it did very bad? All right, maybe in 2022 there was a peak. It was very high. Did the way the sales was very high. So that's kind of project you're going to just do descriptive. All right. So if you are to do predictive, you will also be told. You won't just be doing analysis random. You understand? So is there another question? Okay. Adela, do you have a question? Asaga Rejoice, you're the last person.
Okay, ma. Thank you so much for the training today so far. Okay, we are doing a training in data analysis with Excel. So I wanted to ask this question. What are some best practices for data modeling in Excel, and how can I apply them to create a robust and scalable data model that will enable me to have an efficient data analysis and visualization?
Okay. If you notice what I explained to you just now, right? I listed about, I think, 6 steps. Okay. It's from collection to cleaning to exploration before modeling, visualization, and interpretation. So it is step by step. When you get to that stage, you can ask that question. You understand?
Okay, ma.
Focus on what we are doing now, so you don't cause a lot of confusion and problem. You get?
Is that right? It's okay. Thank you.
Any other question? Okay, I said you're going to be the last person. All right, so I just opened my. Oh, yeah, ask your question. Ask the question. You said what?
The various tools that you can use for data analysis, Excel, Python, and Power BI, and other.
Yeah.
If I'm giving data set, will it be the same data set if one is to work with Excel and someone has to work with Python? Will you be giving the same data set?
It depends. It depends. When you mean the same, now I need to understand what you're saying. Is it the same type of?
Someone that would want to work with Excel, what will you be giving Excel file? And someone that wants to work with Python, will the document like I don't really get how the data set would come.
The data that you work with, that you can work with in Excel, you can just work the type of data set in Python. It depends on how the data is being stored. As far as that's a predefined format, all right, it's structured. It shouldn't be a problem.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, so everyone now avoid distractions. Thank you very much for your questions. All right, so I just opened my Excel workbook. All right, so this is the first thing I saw upon opening my workbook. So the first thing is, I don't know how it is for you, Paul. If you have an updated version, you should see what I'm saying now. But if you don't have an updated version, your Excel, what you see might be slightly different. Okay. So the first thing you notice is Excel greeted me. Good evening. That's the first thing. So Excel is polite and respectful. All right. So the next thing we are saying now is blank workbook. So when you want to open a new file that has nothing, like when you get a new notebook from the market that you've not used before, that is how this blank workbook is. All right, so it is just an empty file without anything. When you want to start newly, this is where you go to. So I think these are other they're like templates. They're like templates for you. Maybe you want to do something, you don't know how to build. Could be your building statement, could be anything. So Excel also gives you options to work with their templates. You can edit it and do whatever it is you want to do. All right, so we have the home option here. We normally use this. I think I've already opened the workbook now. I'll be able to access this very well, but I've not done that. All right, so we have the new. So this new here is like opening a new file, just like we have this blank workbook. So they practically do the same thing. Then we have the open. This open here, what it does is it will take you into your local storage. That is your PC. You will not be able to view all the files you have in your PC. So maybe you have the file, you have a particular Excel file saved somewhere. You can click on open. It will take you to those files. And then you pick it and open it for you. That's if you don't want to click on the file directly to open it. All right. So we have the account section. I won't go here because my details are there. Right. So, but this is where your details, your information are for your account. So if you are signed in to Microsoft, all your details will be here. Your name and whichever detail you are allowing it to display. All right. Microsoft actually gives you the opportunity to save your files to cloud. All right. So cloud is like an online storage where you can save your files. So if you have created an account and you've signed into your Microsoft, it will be there. So anything you work with will be in your cloud. So you can access your documents from your phones, from your laptops, anywhere you are signed in. You can access it. Like if you're not with your device now, you can access it anywhere. Then we also have the options. All right, I will open here. So this is where you go to when you want to make some changes to your Excel workbook. All right, so these are the kind of changes you can make. Maybe change the data. Well, we might not really need to talk about this because you would not really understand what you're using this for until you have a problem that you need to use this to solve. So where you have your language, accessibility, and thereabouts. All right, go back. So that is it for that. Then here, this is where you have files that you recently opened. You can see this one at the curriculum. You can see it's showing I opened it 8 hours ago, 11 hours ago, and the rest. So files that you recently opened, it will show here. All right, then files that were also shared with you. Maybe if you worked with somebody on cloud and the rest, and the person you want to collaborate to analyze the particular data, those files will be displayed here, shared with me, but I won't click it now. All right, but they will be displayed here. So what we're going to do now, you can also come to your search bar to also search for a particular file. as far as you worked on it on Excel to bring it out. All right. So what we're going to do today now, I want to open a blank workbook. All right. So I'm going to click on it. So this is the Excel interface. All right. This is a workbook. This is not just a workbook, it's a worksheet right now. So we have workbook, we have worksheet. Workbook is like your notebook. You understand? When you get your notebook from the market and the rest of your notebook contains a lot of leaves. You understand? A lot of pages. So that's how the workbook is. So the workbook's like a notebook, but in Excel, it is called workbook. So a workbook contains worksheets, right? But this now is the first sheet. This is sheet 1. All right. So I can say I want to create another worksheet. You can see it immediately. I hovered my mouse there. It showed new sheet. All right. So if I click on that plus sign, I have successfully created another sheet, which is sheet 2. All right. Can you see my screen? Hello. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can. We can see.
PIP presenting what I'm saying.
Yes, we can, but I think it's I don't know if it's just me.
It's blank. It's blank.
Static. I can only see the blank, just the beginning where you have the new sheet, the workbook, where you have the opened and nothing, all other things are nothing else after that. But I think you've gone past this.
Okay.
Good evening, all.
Yeah. Thank you very much. I think I lost connection on my PC. That was what I asked. All right.
Thank you.
I'll say it again.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So I think I'm back. Okay. I think I'm back. You can see my workbook now, right? My Excel.
Yes, I can see it.
So I was talking about.
Sorry, please. Before you continue, sorry to interrupt you. I can't see your workbook. It is just your name, the PIP community. I can see, and I think it's same with some other persons because it was what was showing before, and a lot of people complained, myself included.
I can see your screen now, so I guess you just to come up now.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
Has it come up now?
Yes, your screen is on now.
Yeah, it might be a bit slow.
Yeah.
Some are slower than the others.
Your screen is on now. I can see it.
Okay.
Your screen.
All right. I'll mute everyone now for decorum. Thank you very much. I think it should be visible now. Please, if you notice you're not seeing my screen, just drop a message on the box because I would need to mute everybody. Thank you. All right. If you have not seen it, I think you should just try logging out, log out, and log in quickly, and you should see the screen. You can also raise your hand. So immediately I see a lot of people's hands up, I know that there's something wrong. All right. Thank you. All right. So I was talking about workbook and worksheets. All right. So this workbook now that I opened has 2 sheets, the sheet 1 and sheet 2. I can also create more sheets, right, if I want. Well, the whole point of this is you need to understand when somebody is using the terms. When somebody is telling you, "Oh, my workbook," you know that it's the whole file itself. Then worksheet is different from workbook. Workbook is a collection of worksheets. All right. So another thing you can notice is the division in Excel. So this area here now is known as the ribbon. All right, when you have all these options here, the ribbon. All right, so this is where you have your cells, your rows and column. Then this lower part here, if you can see my cursor, this lower part here is your status bar. All right, so I will start from, let me start from the ribbon. Okay, so in the ribbon here, you have different tabs. You have the file tab, all right, which takes you back to where we were just now. We have the home tab, all right, so the home tab displays these options for you. Displays this. So in the home tab, you have the font group, you have the alignment group, you have the number group. So when you want to format your numbers, this is where the option. You have styles, you have cells. When you want to format your cells, this is where the option is. You have editing, you have add-ins, you have analyze data. The way it is on my screen might not be the way it is on your own screen. Okay, it is possible, is just because of different versions. All right, but just understand the concept in case somebody is talking to you about something and maybe you are trying to search for something. Remember which particular tab it is. So the person can tell you, okay, if you want to do that, go to the formula tab. All right, and in the formula tab, go to the formula auditing group. All right, so you need to understand this whole place now is your ribbon. Is your ribbon. All right, all these ones you have at the top here. This your home, insert, draw, page layout, formulas, data, and the rest to Power Pivot. They are all tabs. All right, they are all tabs. Okay, then all these ones you are seeing here now: fonts, alignment, number, style, cells, editing, adding, they are groups. Okay, if you go to the insert tab as well, you can see the same thing. Tables, this tables group, control, charts, spark lines, filter, links, they're all groups inside the tabs. All right, so we just finished with home tab. I'll go now to insert tab. So when you want to insert things into your Excel worksheet, usually come to the insert tab. All right, so in the insert tab, in this but you can insert shapes, you can insert pictures, you can insert icons, 3D models, smart art, and whatever you want to do. You can come here, just click insert, and then you select the shape you want. Let's say you want to select a rectangle, you can insert it. All right, so whatever you want to do, you can insert it there. You can also insert pivot table, which is going to be done later on. You can also insert charts from here, any chart you want. Maybe you have a particular data set or just a small table. You can also insert charts, your choice. All right. So you also have filters. You use this a lot when you're working with pivot table. You can insert links. All right. So you can insert a link into a particular cell, and then whenever that cell is being clicked, it will take you to the directory where that link is leading to. All right, you can insert symbols and controls. So this is the draw tab. You can also draw in Excel. Maybe sometimes when I'm trying to explain something or trying to calculate and the rest, so I can decide I want to draw. All right, you can draw in Excel. You have your eraser and the rest. All right, so this here layout, the page layout tab. So here you have the themes group. This you when you're actually designing, you have the teams, have page setup. All right, so we have margins, orientation. Maybe this one, you usually use when you want to print, when you have a table, you want to print it out. Okay, you can start to change the orientation depending on what you want. You have size, but this just has to do with your page. All right, your page. So you have scale to fit group. This one also has to do with the page and the rest. So we have lines, which is you make use of this when you are doing your dashboard. So you can decide to hide your grid lines. You can see immediately I took out this view. It wasn't showing again. All right, so take it out. Your grid lines will disappear. So you can leave them as view. So we also have a range, bringing forward, sending. You also use this when you are designing with Excel. So now we're on to the formulas tab. Here you have the function library. So we want to do auto sum. You want to quickly choose some functions you have used before. Maybe you recently used a function. It will be saved here to your recently used. We also have financial functions. Another thing you need to understand is Excel does not want to stress anyone. Okay? Microsoft does not want to stress anyone. They want to make life easy for you, as easy as possible. So it is in a way that immediately you hover to any particular part here in your tab, your ribbon rather, it is going to bring out the options for you. It's going to show you what that particular option does. All right, you can see name changer, create and edit. It will just show you. So what you can do in your free time is just take your time, check hover your mouse around your ribbon. It will tell you what everything is doing. So formula auditing, it's not everything you make use of. Most times there are some things that you may not really know what it does or how to use it until you are being faced with a challenge that will require you to use those things. Right? There are some things that you may never use here. You may never use here. You won't know. All right. So this is the data tab. This is a very important tab in Excel. When you are doing your data cleaning, you need this a lot, and data management as well. So this is where we have get data. So maybe if the sheet is being connected to Power Query and the rest, this is where you work with get data. Yeah, you don't have some tabs. Wind, the version is not the latest, so you need to update your Excel. All right, so we have refresh all. So maybe when you've made this query and connection group, so when you've made some changes to your data set and the changes are not yet appearing on your dashboard or they're not appearing on your pivot table, so you just need to come to refresh all to refresh it. So you have data types as well. You have the sort and the filter. You need this a lot for data management. Then you have the data tools tab. This part is very important. Data analysis, as a data analyst, sorry, it is very, 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 very important. These data tools and sort and filter group. So this is where you have your data validation option. You have moving duplicates option. You have flash fill. You have consolidate, and you have data model. All right, then we also have the forecast group. Okay, then there's outline and analysis. Okay, so we're on to the review tab. You can see that it's showing me some options. That's because I recently updated my Excel, so there are some new options that I'm even seeing here that I've not seen before. All right, Microsoft is always updating. That's how the tech world is. New things are coming every day. So I'll leave that. All right, so we have the proofing group here. So this is where you have your thesaurus now, the dictionary and the rest. So want your spellings to be corrected and the rest. This is where you do all those. Then you have check performance. You may not use all these things, all right, but it's just good to know what they can do. So you have your translate and the rest. Data analysis will use all. But you see the data tab, very important. Data tab, formula tab, they're very important. Very, very important. So we have the view tab. Go to view. Okay. You can see this green stuff that is coming up now. It's just trying to like guide me because it knows that this navigation is quite new. Okay, so sorry, I want to click on all right, so let me go back to view. So these are the other groups under the view tab. Right, so we have the developer tab. Many of you would not have this particular tab because I had to bring it up from the options section. So this one we won't have it. We also have the help and the power pivot. All right, so we are done with the Excel ribbon now. The next thing now is now onto this name box now. Next thing here now is the formula bar. So this is where the formula that you enter into your cell is being displayed. I think I should let me just explain this. Sheet 35, go to formula bar, name bar. All right, so the Excel worksheet consists of rows and columns. All right, so the rows are labeled as numbers where you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So these are the rows. Everything here is a row. All right, we also have columns. So the rows are vertical, the columns are horizontal. The columns are labeled as alphabets. So you have A, B, C, D, down to a very far number. Very, very far number. On and on and on. I don't need to go there. But you guys can check it on your own Excel. I think all the versions have that. You can see where it ends and the rest. So an intersection of a row and a column is called a cell. All right. So when you have these 6 now meeting with this C, which is here, is called a cell. All right. So these are all cells. These are all cells. We need to understand row, column, and cells so that if I give an assignment and maybe I tell you to use this particular cell, you're not going to say they're different. Okay. So these are all cells. So for each cell you click on, if you come here, this is a name box. All right. The name box writes the name of the cell. It tells you the name of the cell that you are in. Okay. If I come here now, let's say I come here to this cell, it will also tell me the name of the cell that I'm in. And name of the cell is what? J5. How did you get J5? Because this place now, J5 is where the column is J and the row is 5. All right. So J5 is the intersection of the row and the column. Let me zoom it so you guys can see clearly. So you can see it. All right. So we have J as the column and then 5 as the row. Okay. Then we also have our formula bar over here. So the formula bar is where all the formulas you use in a particular cell is being stated. All right. So let's say, for example, I came here and I wrote something like is equal to 5 plus 10, and I put equal to, right? You can see what is being displayed here. On the cell, what you are seeing here is 15, right? That is the value. That is the value. That is like the answer. That is the value that is being displayed here. What you are seeing on the name box here is I7, because that is the name of the cell. And then what you are seeing on the formula is the formula that I used in getting the particular value that is there. If you come to the cell, you will not see the formula. You won't see how you got that 15. You will only see the final product, which is what 15. Then if you go to your formula bar, that is when you will now see how that product came into play. All right. So the next thing we have is our status bar, which is below here. All right. So in status bar, that is where you have the name of your sheet. Okay. I can decide I want to change the name of this sheet to PIP. All right. Can I decide I want to change the name of this sheet to EXC? Anything I want. Okay. That's where you have the name of your sheets. This status bar, you also have your views, the kind of views you want to have, layout you want, the way you want your Excel worksheet to look like. You also have that there. Then you can also do what are these things? You can also do a quick you can also get a quick statistical summary here in your status bar. So let's say we had something like 100, we had 200, we had let's say 400 now, for example. So if I come here now and I highlight all of this, if you come and look at my status bar below, it gave me a quick statistical summary, right? So it's telling me the average here, the average of all these numbers here, when you add all these numbers and divide it by 3, it's telling me the average here is 283. Counts, that is the total number of cells here. The count here is 3. Then the sum is 700. So when I add all this together, I'll get 700. So maybe you don't want to write a function or you don't use a formula, you can just quickly highlight it and go and check your status bar to show you, just give you a quick summary of what is there. So in the status bar, we also have this option here that you can use to adjust. You can use to move left or right. All right. Then you have this here for zooming your screen. You can increase it and you can decrease it, whichever you want. All right. So then after you are done, maybe if you are done doing your analysis, or you've done you are done with data entry, whatever it is you want to do, it is important you save your work. All right. You can do Ctrl S. You can click on Ctrl. Immediately click on Ctrl X. It will immediately click on Ctrl S. That is on your keyboard. That is, you hold Ctrl and then you hold S. It will give you this option to bring out the dialog box for you to save your file. So you can give the file a name. You can give the file a name, whatever it is you want. Since we are PIP, so we'll give the file PIP. And then you direct it to where you want it to save your file. Okay, so it's asking me to choose the location. If I want my OneDrive, okay, but I can just set to click on more options. It will bring me here. So when I click on more options, it will give me here, and then I can now click on Save As. If you don't want to use the shortcut, that is Ctrl S, right? If you don't want to use the shortcut, you can just scroll here to File. All right, you click on the file. When you click on the file, you go down here to Save As, and then you click on Save As. All right, so it will ask you the name you want to give your file, or you don't even need to put the name here. All right, immediately you click on Save As, you can just come here to browse. You come here to browse, and then it will open your local disks, right? It will open your PC, and then you can now choose where you want to save that file to on your PC. Then here you come here and you write the name. You put the name you want to save it as. You understand? Immediately you put the name you want to save it as, the file you want to save it as, which is what, an Excel workbook. Then you click on Save, and to save that file and send it into your local disk, so you can access it at any point in time. So that is the last part of our course today. Thank you for joining in. Do you have any questions? Let me see. Yes, you can unmute your mic now. If you have any questions, please ask. Attendance should have been shared.
And what version of Microsoft Excel are you using?
I'm the latest one. That is Office 5.
Okay.
You go to your Microsoft market and then you can access it. All right. Any other question? Is there another question?
Yes, ma'am. The developer. I don't know how are you able to add it to the bar?
When you want to work, how to add it. But regardless, when you want to add that all section here, can you see? Then you go to options. All right. Can you see? When you go to options, customize ribbon, which is here. So when you go to customize ribbon, you come here where you main tabs. Then you can scroll. Mine now is here and it's turned on, but on yours it's turned off. So you don't have a developer and they're using let's say from Microsoft 2020 or 2020 to have that developer tab. So you just come and that so okay, and you can see it out. It's no longer there again. So I went to file. I went nice ribbon. Then I down. I'll select go back. And you now when I started to turn on because I was like to research on how it's mostly when you want to work with use that. All right, thank you. Any other?
Good evening, ma. Please, ma, I didn't get the ribbon aspect.
Which part of the ribbon aspect did you get?
I understand that you said home, file, and others are the tabs. Then the fonts, the style table are groups. So I didn't get the aspect, the examples of ribbon.
Everything here is your ribbon.
Okay.
This is like this.
The general conditional formatting are the ribbon.
Everything that is here, like just ribbon.
All right, thank
okay,
you.
So inside the ribbon, that's where you have all these tabs.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right. Okay.
Please, ma'am. I don't know if you can hear me.
Yeah.
Hello, ma'am.
Yeah. Can I hear you?
Please, I don't know if there's a way we can get to this lesson.
Have you forgotten attendance history?
From the not yet. From the chat.
I talk. Okay, the attendance link has been shared on the chat. Share the attendance.
Hello, Mama, can you hear me?
I can.
Okay, so I said, is there a way we can get to this lesson? A lot of people on the chat have indicated that they were unable to follow because was one, they were not seeing your screen, while others could see the screen, but the screen was not corresponding with what you were saying.
Okay. But you had the orientation on the for the Hello.
Hello. Sorry about that, please.
Yeah, at your body, I think I was asked that question, and my response was that the video will be available on our YouTube channel, PIP Community. The videos,
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you.
the videos will be available.
Oh, on the YouTube. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Available on the YouTube.
All right.
Channel when it is ready.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
Hello, good evening, ma'am. Hello.
Good evening, yeah.
Okay, ma'am. Please, I want to ask where to check. Hello.
Where to what? What?
Where to check for the version of Excel we are using.
It will be answer that question. It will be on your application memory. If you go to your app, hold on, let me turn off this recorder first. If you go to your PC where you normally view your